rolling with our next storyteller, Emily Durway, and her story is called Instinct. So give her a round of applause.
So sometimes it's important not to follow your instincts. Often a lot of practice with an instrument and other things is so that that practice becomes instinct, but it's not necessarily something we're natural with. I grew up with dogs my whole life. My mom trained and breed golden retrievers. They're the sweetest animals in the world. They're wonderful, they're kind, they're gentle, and they never fought, except for this one time. There's this one time where we had a litter of puppies. So a mother had just given birth. We had another female in the house that was in season, and we had another dog who was older, who I think was having a fake pregnancy because she couldn't get pregnant anymore. There's a lot of dog hormones going on in the house. It was sort of insane. Puppies were adorable. I came home for a visit at Christmas time. Playing with the puppies, I go upstairs, I hear there's a skirmish in the kitchen. There's a fight that seems to have broken out among the dogs. This never, ever happens. It moves into the other room. They're really being vicious. They've got their jaws locked on each other. I've been around dogs long enough to know that, you know, if you're around dogs that are fighting, you should put water on them. You shouldn't get near them. I instead followed my really bad instincts and decided to put my hand down in them and separate their jaws, because these are loving, kind golden retrievers who would never bite me. To this day, I still don't know who actually bit me because it all happened so fast. Unlike the slowing down that everybody else is talking about, this is like, whoa! And so I put my hands down, tried to separate their jaws like an idiot. They were too hard, even though they're golden retrievers, it was too physically hard to do it. One of them released long enough to bite me. It bit me right here, which you wouldn't think was a big deal. It was just one little tooth that went into my arm. Didn't even hurt that much. But what it did do is it hit an artery. It hit a little teeny artery. So it just was spraying like this all over the living room. Just like a Quentin Tarantino movie. My dad rushed into the room. He's bald, mainly bald. And so while he's doing this, he's trying to pour water on the dogs and get them separated and trying to do it appropriately. At the same time, I'm standing here holding my arm like this, and it's still spurting. I can't get it to stop, and he's got blood now all over his head. I decide, okay, I probably can't this to stop. We've tried to put a towel on it, do other things, and it's just going for like half an hour. And it's a little teeny thing, I mean, it's not a lot of blood, but it's consistent and it won't stop. This is wintertime in Maryland, and there was a lot of snow on the ground, and it was cold. I couldn't not hold my arm because it would keep on bleeding really badly. So I put my coat over my arm. I lived in suburban Maryland, which means that I've lived in a place called Howard County, where it's the bedroom communities for the DC and Baltimore people. So I go into the suburban emergency room near Christmas time in Maryland. There is absolutely nothing happening. It's quiet. You could hear a pin drop. I walk in by myself. My mom drops me off near the door because it's cold and I can't wear a coat. I walk in, but the way the coat is draped over my arm, you can't see the blood. So the woman sits at a desk. She looks very bored. And she looks up barely and says, "Fill out this clipboard." And in my mind, I'm going, if I let this go, there's going to be blood all over her. And I still need to fill out this clipboard. And she doesn't seem to care. So I flip back my coat like this. Well, by this point, there's blood all the way down my arm, coating it. The woman looks up, probably at the sight of a little bit of red, and screams like, trauma one, into the speaker, like I had my arm removed. They immediately, no clipboards were needed, so that's nice. When you're bleeding profusely, no clipboards are needed. They moved me into this little room because apparently, I don't know, they're really worried about the amount of blood. It probably wasn't that lot, but it looked like a lot. And when I finally got in there, somebody took care of me. It only needed 2 stitches. It only needed 2 stitches. But after those stitches, I went home. There is still blood on the ground. There is still blood on my dad's head, blood on my coat, and hardly any pain at all. But what I kept on thinking after that event was that I knew better. I had better instincts. I should have had better instincts. Following my instincts that day was a huge mistake. And all I can say is, I thank God I have really good natural instincts for driving.